Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Connecting Dots podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Usama, and we're back with another cool episode of the series. Today, we have Nasr with us. He's the founder and the business owner of Juice Dudez, which is an Ottawa based eatery here. It's one of the very few businesses where me and my wife have spent our money the most, and we never ever hesitate to stop doing that. So with that, let's get started. Nasir, thank you so much once again for being here with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for the intro, Usama. And just hearing that Juices is your favorite place to hang out at and eat and drink is just it just made me so much happier all of a sudden.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So first of all, let's get started by me asking you to provide an elevator pitch about your business and just walk us through the journey, like from ideation all the way to reality.
Absolutely. So Juice Foods has been serving Ottawa for the past 3 years.
Mhm,
We serve juices, smoothies, desserts, waffles, crepes, and soon gelato and sandwiches. We also serve amazing Italian coffee, espresso, and whatnot. I'd say what's really special about us is the fact that we use only the best of the best ingredients. I know it sounds like a cliche, but we really
mhm,
take that to heart. Um, Using the best ingredients is something that we would never compromise because uh,
mhm,
you asked about the idea. The whole thing is that
yeah,
in the market right now, if you were
mhm,
to order a juice or a smoothie, etc.,
mhm,
etc.,
mhm,
it's most of the time made from frozen fruits or maybe just frozen yogurt or some syrups. So
mhm.
sometimes you would enjoy the flavor, but then you wouldn't enjoy the feeling afterwards. You'd feel guilty, you'd feel a little bit of a physical, struggle
Yeah.
just because
Mhm,
you haven't had natural stuff. And this is what we're there
mhm,
for. We want to use the best of the best ingredients. We work
yeah.
tirelessly to continually improve the recipes to reach that amazing
Mhm,
flavor. And what is really special about us is that we love what we do. To do what we're doing, you can't work 7 days a week. You can't um, serve. Thankfully, we're very busy. You can't serve that many restaurant or
mhm.
customers. With such good service and such good quality without loving what you do. This is the fuel that help
Yeah,
us
definitely.
in order to keep pushing and going
Mhm.
continuously.
All right, great. So Nasser, how did this idea came into your mind, and when did you act? And when was the time when you actually thought about putting a nail in the coffin, and you were like, "Hey, I need to start this."
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
So to give you a bit of a background, when I came to Canada was 5 years ago. I came here to finish my studies. I studied civil engineering. I had one
Mm-hmm.
year left, and I came here, but they wouldn't give me credits for whatever reason. So I
Okay.
decided to, uh, you know, um, go back to business because my dad is an entrepreneur. Growing up in an entrepreneur family,
Yeah.
you're taught not to be an entrepreneur because of all the struggles entrepreneurs go through.
Yeah.
So you're taught to go to university, get a
Yeah.
degree and then be an employee somewhere and don't have
Mm-hmm.
all the stress of the entrepreneur. But then I
Yeah.
realized it is actually my passion. It is actually what I love. And then looking back, I also see that our family
Yeah.
background is in fruits and vegetables. My dad used
Mm-hmm.
to trade fruits and vegetables, and my grandparents used to farm them. So,
Right.
and it's something that I really love: fruits and vegetables and
Yeah.
farming, etc., etc. So
Yeah.
I wanted to combine these two passions, which is food, mainly fruits and vegetables, and
Mm-hmm.
business. And then
Yeah.
it's you
Yeah.
come up with the restaurant when you combine these two. And then
Right.
it came the what's it called, the niche. So now we got to find a
Mm-hmm.
need in order to fulfill that need, right? You can't
Yeah.
open up a restaurant that there's a million different restaurants that serve the same thing, right?
Correct.
So we started doing the marketing or the market research, and then we found out,
Mm-hmm.
like I said earlier, that most juices and smoothies in the market are just based on either frozen or, you know,
Yeah.
syrups and
Hmm.
not so great ingredients. So I thought, you know what, Ottawa deserves better, and this is
Of course.
where,
Of
yeah,
course.
this is where I started the journey of
Yeah.
finding Juice Dudes. And then add on top of that, you
Yeah.
know, Ottawa is pretty cold, so uh
Yeah.
we really need
Yeah.
good proper chocolate
Yeah.
throughout the winter. So hence the waffles and crepes that are
Yeah.
completely covered with Belgian chocolate. So yeah, that was the
Right.
story, man.
Yeah, no, that is pretty inspiring. Um,
Thank you.
Also, second of all, that once you are in a domain that you're comfortable with, and then leaving it all for something that you have no idea about, is it's basically an untapped area where you're going. So you must have some sort of fear or imposter syndrome at that time. So what made you actually never look back and just made the switch completely?
You know, this is something I didn't mention. When I dropped out of engineering school, I was working in sales. And
Mm-hmm.
I struggled in the beginning, but then I ended up doing very, very well. And by the way, I recommend to everyone to work in sales if they want to be in business.
For sure.
It's not the
Yeah.
most fun thing, especially if it's
Yeah.
not your personality, but the stuff that you would learn
Yeah.
there, you can't learn anywhere else. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
True.
Long story short, I was
Mm-hmm.
doing well eventually, uh, but I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't happy. I wasn't my thing. I was
Yeah.
literally, you know, I was still working very hard, but
Yeah.
I wasn't happy. I
Yeah.
wasn't meant to do that, and that made me, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I know miserable is a big word, but I wasn't happy,
Mm-hmm.
to say the least.
Right.
So eventually,
Right.
I'm like, you know what, life is too short. Let me do what makes me happy, and I don't care what happens. You know, life is too short.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
You
I
might,
like the vibe of
yeah, man, you
it.
might die tomorrow. Like I'd rather die happy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. For
and at the
sure.
end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm young. I was young at the time,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
who cares what's gonna happen? Like,
Yeah.
what do I have to lose?
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah. And also, any cool idea, it starts from a person or maybe a group of friends, and then it kind of branches out and becomes a big thing. And I believe that a coherent and cohesive team, is very important for any system to function properly. And I've seen that you guys have it in you. Like, your team always comes together, they have an amazing attitude whenever you go there. So what do you think that what do you think served as a prime core value, that you guys never compromised on, that really helped you flourish in the business, here?
Um, that's also another great question. I'd say the biggest value that we do not compromise, and the biggest core value that we have at Juice
Mm-hmm.
Dudes is literally our slogan. We love what we do. Just very, very
Nice.
simple. If you don't
Yeah.
love what we do, you don't belong to the team. It's
Mhm.
okay. Go on and do something else. If you don't enjoy talking
Yeah.
to people, if you don't enjoy serving people good stuff, if you don't enjoy being hygienic, if you don't enjoy working with food, if
Yeah.
you don't enjoy tweaking recipes, if you don't enjoy,
Yeah.
you know, making people's day the moment they walk into the
Yeah.
Juice Dude store, you don't belong to our
Yeah.
team, and you should just go on with your life. You know, no hard feelings, but
Yeah.
you were born to do something else. Why would we keep you?
Yeah. Of course. Of course. um so moving on, I'm curious to ask you about the process of opening a business here in Ontario.
Mm.
Since, I mean, you're pretty young, and you might not have known about every single aspect of it. So in your opinion, how was the process like? Was it smooth, or how was the documentation or the legal work?
It was anything but smooth, man. Especially like you said,
Yeah.
I didn't know much, and again, I'm an immigrant. I was at the time maybe two
Yeah.
years in Canada, so
Mhm.
yeah, I didn't know much, and I didn't know many people, so I had to figure everything
Mhm.
out on my own, asking, you know, random people, doing some research on the internet, and then going
Mhm.
through a ton of bureaucracy, but it's all worth it.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. So other than that, I want to ask you about yourself. Actually, after becoming a business owner and having spent a significant amount of time into it, what myths do you think have been busted for you?
I'd say the biggest one is that if you want to do it right, you got to do it yourself.
Hmm.
I completely disagree with that. I think if
Yeah.
you believe this way, you cannot grow. You can only run a small
Hmm.
mom and pops and, work the hours that you
Yeah.
can work, open it for 40 hours a week, and you do everything right, you do
Yeah.
everything yourself. But if you want to manage a big
Yeah.
operations, if you want to serve a larger amount of people,
Hmm.
you got to have an amazing team. You got to grow a team. You got to teach them everything you know,
Yeah.
and you got to
Yeah.
aim for them to be even better than you, and then you
Yeah.
gotta trust them and depend on them.
For sure, for sure. So other than that, I really believe in the company and the name that you guys stand for, and
Thank you.
I wish and pray that it grows stronger day by day. What is the long term vision with the business right now?
The long-term vision. I love talking about this stuff. Do
Yeah,
we have enough time? Uh,
yeah,
I'd say
yeah. For
I'd
sure.
say it
Yeah,
is to say it in a few words
yeah,
is to
yeah.
share the Juice Dudes experience all over the world. I believe that
Hmm.
you know the
Yeah.
Ottawa people, like, they're
Hmm.
amazing, and hence why we're
Hmm.
here. But I think the rest of the world also deserves to enjoy the Juice Shoes experience.
Of course, of course, yeah, that's cool. Uh, so other than that, even I can relate to it that having a side hustle, then your main hustle, and then your family and the social aspect of the life, it kind of becomes too overwhelming at times, and you start feeling burnt out. In your opinion, how are you dealing with that?
I'd say the biggest and the most important thing to keep in mind is to
Mm-hmm.
focus on one single thing at a time. Of course, you can't
Mm-hmm.
ignore your family, but when it comes to
Yeah.
business, I'd say just adopt one single business and put
Mm-hmm.
your all into it. Don't be distracted with any opportunities that will come your way. Opportunities come my way every single day. Um, if I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
completely focused and committed to Juice Dudes, I don't think we are where we are right now. So it's very, very simple. Just
Right.
stick
Right.
to one single thing, and it should be the thing that
Mm-hmm.
you love the most, and you think it has the biggest
Yeah.
potential, and put your all
Yeah.
into it.
Right, right. Also, talking about the fact that you did have prior job experiences before starting a business, for someone, let's say, who's starting fresh, how do you think that your prior experiences have factored into your personality, or have given you a boost when starting your own business?
Another great question, man. You have the best questions out there. Um,
Thank you.
so about my experiences, like I said earlier, I grew up in an entrepreneurial family. So my dad owned
Hmm.
a grocery store back home, and he used to
Hmm.
basically wholesale fruits and vegetables as well as the retail. So I was
Hmm.
basically out working for him since I was maybe 12. When I was 15, I was actually, running stuff here and there. So running staff and
Right.
running operations, etc., etc. So that
Hmm.
taught me how to deal with, employees, and how to deal with customers,
Hmm.
and of course, a lot of the things that I do right now are thanks to what I learned
Hmm.
back when I was 15 years old as a kid that is trying to deal with customers that are, giving you a
Right.
hard time, or even nice customers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Um,
Uh-huh.
and then I worked in sales, and like I said earlier,
Yeah.
it's the most valuable career that you can have in order for you to be a, a successful business, in my opinion, because of the amount of
Hmm.
things that you learn, including communication. Communication is extremely, extremely important. You can have the
Right.
best ideas, but you don't know how to communicate
Hmm.
it. You can't succeed that much.
Yeah.
Uh, Selling, in life, we're constantly selling. I am selling right now. When I'm talking to
Yeah.
my team, I'm selling them. When I'm talking to my customers,
Yeah.
I'm selling them. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
having that skill is
Right.
something that is extremely important, and I'm very blessed that I
Mhm.
went through all that, and I think this has given me amazing value to juices right now.
Right. That is amazing. And if I were to connect this segment, I guess, uh, to your formal education, how do you think university experience have helped you in shaping your personality and gaining some useful skills out of it? Because I mean, you went into engineering. One thing that engineering teaches us
Zero.
is how to think step by step, breaking problems down, and then finding a solution that just solves the bigger problem. So, how do you think your university experience have factored into your personal growth?
Honestly, university did nothing but waste my time, man. I studied for 4 years, and I wish I had done what I should have done throughout these
Yeah,
4 years. University is such a waste of
yeah,
time to me. Yeah, I can
right,
only speak for
okay.
myself.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But I mean, what were some things that that you think that you might have identified as problems that you think if they were not done that way, that could have provided value? Like, let's say if we just not talk about problems right now, let's say if we talk about a solution towards them as well, what do you think should universities have in them so that we can possibly get maximum value out of it? Because I mean, it's definitely not cheap to get a degree here in North America, right?
The thing about universities is that they teach you a lot of stuff that you don't actually need. And obviously, they do this for the money. They want to give you courses
Mhm.
so they can charge you for credits so they can make money. Uh,
Right.
if if universities were to teach students only what they actually need
Hmm.
without all the fluff, I think it'd be
Hmm.
far more efficient, and
Hmm.
it'd be far more effective, and you know a lot of people would be way more successful.
Yeah. Other than that, I want to ask you about success, which definitely is a moving target for everyone. What do you think is your definition of success?
It's funny. I was talking about it to someone a couple days ago. My definition to success is achieving what you want to achieve. It's not what you're capable of achieving. It's not what your potential is. It's not what
Mhm.
your parents think you should achieve. It's not what the society think you should be. I think success
Yeah.
is
Right.
achieving what you
Yeah.
deep down want to ultimately achieve. Regardless of how big or
Right.
small or significant or
Hmm.
insignificant that thing is, if you achieve it, you are
Hmm.
successful. That's it.
Right. Right. Makes sense. Bullseye. Spot on.
Nice.
This gets me thinking. Uh, how is Juice Dudes doing against the competition, or do you guys even have a competition here in Ottawa at the moment?
There would be, you know, when a business like this that is so kind of new and outside of the box comes up and
Hmm.
does very well. Of course, a bunch of places
Yeah.
are gonna pop up here and there that are gonna knock off the whole concept or maybe a part of it here and there, right? So there would be some
Right.
competition, but
Right.
thankfully, uh, our philosophy is not to look at competition. It's just to
Hmm.
keep hustling,
Hmm.
going all out all the time, doing our absolute best,
Hmm.
regardless of what's outside of our, four doors, and in terms of competition, right? And
Yeah.
and
Right.
thankfully, we've never been affected, and ever since we opened, everything is getting better
Hmm.
every single day. Like, thankfully, the
Right.
sales are going up every single month. So I'd say
Amazing.
competition is not
Amazing.
something to be worried about as long
Yeah.
as we keep doing our best and we keep true to our values. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Right. Excellent. Excellent. Um, Another thing that I was thinking was that as a business owner, okay, let's not use the term business owner, as a leader of a unit, let's say. you have to do a fair amount of firefighting, and you have to dedicate a fair amount of time for planning for the future as well. How do you think that gets factored in and gets divided among your team primarily? Like, how do you guys manage your time with that?
Google Calendar. It's as simple as that. I'm a very simple
Right,
guy. You know what I mean?
right,
Uh,
right.
I have a coach, a business coach, and
Mm-hmm.
he was asking me. He's 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 probably. I love the guy. His name is Jim Cummings. He's uh,
Okay.
he's probably older than my dad, but he's not old. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah. All
he's
right.
like, "How do you do that? How do you organize your
Yeah.
stuff?" Because every time we meet, he
Yeah.
asked me what did I do for
Mm-hmm.
the past period, and he sees that there's a lot is being done,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, and he's like, "How do you do that?"
Right.
I'm like, I showed him my journal. He's like, "Oh, you're old school." I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, "Have you heard of Google Calendar?" I'm like, "I heard of it, but I
Yeah.
never tried it." He's like, "Look at that. It's so nice, so easy." So yeah, this is when I started using it, and all my
Right.
managers right now also use it. We
Yeah.
write everything down, everything that we need to do, everything that we need
Yeah.
to accomplish, and basically we
Mm-hmm.
start with the most pressing matters and important
Mm-hmm.
uh, stuff in the beginning in the day, and then uh, and it
Yeah.
goes. So basically, we prioritize and manage the time at the same time. Prioritize the tasks, start with the most important things,
Yeah.
and then manage it,
Yeah.
place it in the right time.
Excellent. Excellent. Another thing, as a leader, I want to ask you about delegation, because we can't always, spoon feed everyone that this is how they should be doing things. But sometimes I think when we empower people, when they start feeling better about themselves, they kind of outperform us as well sometimes. And I think that's the biggest achievement as a team as well. So how do you think that has been enabled in your greater team?
I think this is exactly what the leadership culture in our team is. This is exactly, yeah. We don't make people do stuff. We don't spoon
Hmm.
feed people stuff. We of course give them all the resources and the
Yeah.
tools that they need in order to
Hmm.
learn. We're ready for them whenever they have a question,
Right.
but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
we don't push them to take action. We
Yeah.
inspire them to take action. And this is by, taking care of
Amazing.
them. It's
Okay.
by
Yeah.
showing them what the ultimate goal is, showing them the growth
Yeah.
potential that we do have to
Yeah.
offer, and showing them that their team need them in
Yeah.
order for them to grow, and this is it.
Yeah.
Basically, put an important thing is as well,
Yeah.
going back to what we said earlier. You gotta do what you love. So basically, as a leader, your job
Hmm.
is to delegate tasks to people that are good at, and usually what they're good at is what they love. And if they're doing what they love, they're gonna succeed at it
Hmm.
if they're in the right environment.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Of course, 100%. Other than that, pivoting the conversation a little bit, I want to ask you about your Instagram lately. I've been checking it out, and it seems like you're opening a new location in Ottawa.
Thank you, Usama.
Congratulations for that, first of all, and share a bit of insights that you can publicly do so. How's the venture
It
going so
is
far?
going great, uh, but slow. Things took way longer than we
Yeah,
expected,
yeah.
and it's mainly because of paperwork and whatnot.
Hmm.
We expected to receive the permit in 3 weeks, which
Yeah.
is the standard. We waited more
Okay.
than 3 months to receive it, so that was fun.
No
That
way.
was
Oh
fun.
my God. Well, I'm happy the new location is
There you
close to my
go.
home as well.
Hopefully in August we will be open. This is what we're aiming for. But
Yeah.
funny enough, we were
Yeah.
aiming for April, and then May, and then June, and then July, and now August. So
Wow. Man,
yeah,
kudos
man,
for the
it's
patience, man.
I don't know about patience because I don't have a lot of that, but
Yeah. Yeah.
we had to do what we had to do. Um, it
Yeah.
will be the biggest
Right.
and quote unquote sexiest juice bar in the world. This is what we're aiming for. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Okay. So now that we are heading towards the last phase of our conversation here, I want to ask you about some things not really business related, but about yourself, actually. So other than work and your professional life, what things excite you in life? Like, is it traveling, or what makes you truly happy?
Helping others is a great one. It gives me great happiness, and that's why I enjoy being a
Yeah.
leader, because basically what I'm doing
Yeah.
constantly is helping my teammates to become better and to grow. This is
Hmm.
number one. Number two, very simple. It's food. I love food. I love exploring new food. I
Yeah.
love going everywhere and trying food. I love talking about it. I love watching cooking shows. I like cooking.
Yeah.
I like traveling to
Yeah.
experience new food. I like traveling in general. Yeah. I like
Nice.
cars.
Nice.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Amazing. I am a big, big, big fan of your Ava, dude.
The avocado.
What
Thank you.
is your favorite item on the menu?
Fancy dude. So
Fancy
it's
dude?
basically that
Nice.
avocado, but then
Yeah.
add mango and
Yeah.
strawberry to it, some ashta on top with the almonds, pistachios, and honey.
Yeah.
This thing is heaven.
You're making me hungry.
Yeah, I also really
Yeah.
like the triple chocolate waffle. That one I don't have often
Yeah.
for obvious
Yeah.
reasons, but
Yeah.
it is literally every time I have it, it just makes me
Yeah.
incredibly happy. Like the power of that thing
Nice.
is
Yeah.
crazy, man.
Yeah. Nice. Amazing. So I'll close off by my last question here, Nasser. Knowing what you know now, what do you think you would have done differently in your life, career wise?
I wouldn't have gone to engineering school.
Man,
I,
you're you're a big hater on engineering.
not just engineering, school in general,
Nice.
man.
Yeah.
I would have probably dropped
School.
out
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
of high school and started
Right.
reading and educating myself,
Yeah.
which is basically what I'm doing right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Listening to podcasts like this one. Uh, this
Thank
is,
you.
in
Thank
my
you.
opinion, for a person that wants to
Yeah.
be a businessman. This is the education that they
Yeah.
need, not the stuff that they get in school.
Right, right. And this reminds me of something that Gary Vee once said, that like, I mean, he's big
Yeah.
on taking action and not just talking about it. And I actually saw the value in his idea, is that you gotta stop with just thinking about it all the time. There has to be a point when the thinking phase needs to end, and then you need to start taking action on it.
Yes. Yes.
That
This
is
this could not
amazing.
be more
Well,
true.
anyway,
This could
yeah.
not be more true.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, Nasir, I see that it's a very beautiful sunny day behind you. So, with that, I'll close off the conversation. Thank you so much once again for being here with us. I had a great time talking to you. I mean, you're a great person to talk to, and honestly, I don't know if there's any other business where I've spent more money on. So I wish you all the best with your future, with your career and your personal life as well. And as far as the audience are concerned, if you like the conversation, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy your support. Let us know about your feedback in the comments, and if there are any other cool personalities that you would want us to talk to, let us know in the comments as well. If you like the content, feel free to share it with your friends and family. And until the next episode rolls out, take care of yourself and stay tuned. Take care.